everybody, it's Brittany, and today I am going to be continuing on the color series that I started. So I started off by doing reds, and now I'm gonna do oranges. And what this series is that I pretty much go through all of my palettes and I find all of one shade and I compare them to each other. And I kind of determine which ones are the best and which ones perform the worst. That's not to say that these are not useful. Even the worst ones are not useful. And it's not to say that the other shades aren't good. That's just me going through my collection and finding the ones that I like from what I have here with me as my own. Now, with this color, it was a little bit more difficult because I was trying to find oranges and not peaches or golds. So there may be other oranges that I actually do have in my collection, or you know, that I didn't consider an orange, or that to me was an orange, and color is all interpretive. So if you've seen a video where I have a color in it that's orange and you don't see it here, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try and do a gold series and a peach, or not a gold series. I'm gonna try and do gold and peach separately. I'm just trying to get more of the primary colors done first, and this one was difficult. I feel like this one and yellow are gonna be difficult because between the two of those, you have golds, and it's really hard to determine, is this a gold or is it just a shimmery yellow? So keep that in mind. All right, I'm going to start with the one shade out of this entire lineup that I have that is a glitter orange, and that would be the Saucebox shade here, which is Orange Sun. And if you look at it, you could see that you can't see, but it is glitter. And I did find that, was it this palette? There was another palette that I did where the red looked like it was a glitter red, and then the glitter just was an overspray. So I have not played with this palette too much, and we're gonna see. This is the shade Orange Sun from the Saucebox palette, and it is glittery a little bit, but I feel like if you were to use this with a brush, the glitter wouldn't show up, and the glitter is so sparse that it's not something that I personally would be concerned about. All right, now I feel like because this is more of a matte color, I am going to do mattes first and go through those and compare all of those together. All right, so this is all of the matte shades in orange that I have. Starting off, we have this shade, which was Orange Sun from the Saucebox palette. This shade here is Radon from the Radioactive palette by Melt. This is the shade Hi-Ho Diggity from the Nickelodeon palette. This shade here is from the Electric palette by HUDA. It doesn't have a shade name, but it's from the Electric palette. This shade here is Flamepoint from the Sugarpill line. This shade here is Blazing from the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk. And then this is the color Magic. Yeah, this is the color Magic from the Glam Dolls Fairy Doll palette. Out of all of these, I would have to say that the Melt, which is actually the color that I used on my eyes today, is one of my favorites. Also, this shade here, which is from Sugarpill, you know, I like them all. These are all different tones. I don't feel like there's really one that I like more than the other. I will say, though, that this one, which is from the Glam Dolls palette, and this one here, this one from the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk, and this one here, which is from the Huda Beauty Electric palette, performed the worst out of them all, which is surprising because this is the color from the Hot Topic palette. And it is gorgeous. I remember when I swatched it originally, and this was the shade that I said was going to be my favorite out of the entire palette, and it is beautiful. It is a true orange color, whereas these ones pull more red or burnt. Like this one has more of a burnt orange color to it. This one to me is a true orange, and these are beautiful. I like all of them. I love them all. Moving on, I'm going to now swatch all of the shimmery shades, and this is where things get a little bit tricky because a lot of the colors that I pick can be, or that even the ones that I didn't pick, can be interpreted differently, which is why I said that color is all perspective. Like, the way that you see color isn't the same way that I see color, and it's all interpretive based on the individual. So all of these are the shimmery oranges that I have, and looking at them swatched, a lot of these I could also say are golds. So it's like I said, it's so difficult. But anyways, starting off, we have this shade here, which is the ColourPop Sidekick Super Shock Shadow. And this one is, to me, more of a gold. It has more of a yellow base, and it does have gold glitters in it. This shade here is Paradox from the Alice Through the Looking Glass palette by Urban Decay. This shade is more of a coral to me, but it is from the Huda Beauty Coral Obsessions. And it is the bottom right corner, well, to me. So it's this shade here. This shade here is from the Shiamura palette, the Super Mario collection, in the Peach palette, or Peach's Eye and Cheek palette. So it looks like this. This shade is Starshine from the My Little Pony ColourPop. And this shade is from the Marc Jacobs Siren palette. Again, it's just called Siren number whatever it is in the line, which I think is 3rd. So it'd be Siren 3. And this also, to me, is more of a gold. This shade here is Pumpkin Spice by Sugarpill. This is a limited edition shadow that I have in my Pro palette. All right. This shade is Starfire from the Urban Decay palette that I bought. It's this one where it opens up. I can't remember what the name of this one is. It's just a bunch of shimmers. This last color here is Coral Reef from the Mermaid's Tail palette by Blackheart Beauty. And out of all of these, I have to say that this one obviously is my favorite. It's from Sugarpill. It's beautiful. I also do like this Starfire shade from Urban Decay. I find, though, that these two are more of a foily shade, so you have to be very cautious when using it. If you were to just pop it into the corner, you could end up with some chunks, or having it a little bit chunky, so keep that in mind. I also really do like this shade, which is which is the orange shade from the Shiamura palette. I'll show you which one it is within it. It would be this shade here. So, not this one, this one. And I really do like it. I find that this one would be, in my opinion, more of a true orange shimmer along with this one. The rest of these could be interpreted as more golds or in this case, more of a coral. In conclusion, for the shimmery side, it wasn't surprising to me that Sugarpill kind of took the lead. They really do have amazing shadows. I am finding the more that I play with them, the happier I'm becoming with the way that they perform. But I am a little sad that I've been neglecting other palettes. But that and the Shiamura one, that one was actually surprising to me. I haven't really played with it. You could probably see when I opened it that these were cracked. And so when it becomes a damaged palette, especially one that is limited edition like this, I tend to just not touch it because I'm afraid that I'm going to break it. I think that the most surprising thing was that the mermaid's tail is probably the only one other than the Shiamora that actually was a true orange shimmery shade. So I only have 2, which is weird because the rest of them, I mean, like I said, they're all interpretive, but I feel like the other ones could be interpreted as golds or bronzes, and those 2 were the only ones that when you looked at them, you're like, no, that's a shimmer. That's a shimmery orange. That's not gold. That's a shimmery orange. And that's, what else am I getting at, Brittany? Nothing. So in conclusion with this entire process is that I do find, I guess the thing that was surprising to me was that the Nickelodeon palette was still like one of my favorite oranges out of all of them. I am also surprised that I don't have more oranges. I guess I'm surprised and I'm not surprised. I do not really use oranges all too often. I don't really lean towards more of the orange spectrum. I stick to like pinks and purples and stuff like that. But I did find that the oranges that I do have, they are really good. So either I just don't really have a lot, so I don't have a lot of room for mistakes, or, you know, oranges, the only oranges that I've gotten have come in palettes that are really good, which is actually not true because the Nickelodeon palette was really crappy except for the orange. I remember that. So, yeah. I don't really have a conclusion to this because this wasn't a palette where I was reviewing each individual palette. I was more or less going through and trying to see what oranges I had and what oranges I liked. So this series might be more for me to be like, oh, refer back to series red if I want to figure out which was my best red. And because I want to do a really intense red. Maybe that's what I'm doing. I don't know. But yes, I guess that's all that I have. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you come back for more. I hope you look forward to yellow, because I do, because yellow is my favorite color. Anyways, I love you all, you beautiful unicorns. Mwah. Bye. These are so pretty. I don't even have a stitch of orange. I'm doing orange today, and I'm wearing a banana shirt. Who does that? Bananas are yellow.